Rich Jordan. I'm a practice manager within the testing services. So I work in the financial sector in the UK. I think you've kind of got the basic services of the TDM tool, which allows you to mask data, allows you to create synthetic data. But I think what kind of really sets TDM apart from the other competitors, if you like, is the kind of the added extras that you get within kind of doing true test data management. So you've got things like the cubing concepts that Grid Tools or Data Maker kind of really brings to bear within test data management teams. You've also got test matching as well, which massively accelerates test cycles and really gives stability and allows automation to happen. We've got a centralized COE, if you like, in terms of test data management within our organisation. Benefits are really threefold in terms of cost, quality, and time to market. In terms of kind of the quality, we through test data management, data is kind of the glue that holds systems together, and therefore, if I understand my test data, I understand what I'm testing. And through the tooling and the kind of the maturity in the tooling, we're really bringing kind of an added quality aspect in terms of what we test and how we test, and the risk-based testing that we might approach. In terms of kind of the speed to market, because we don't manually produce data anymore, we use intelligent profiling techniques, test data matching. We massively reduce the time we spend finding data. We also can produce data on the fly, which is turns around test data cycles. And in terms of cost, because we're doing it a lot quicker, it's a lot cheaper. The stability of the solution is really fine. I think the really big question is the stability of the underlying system that it's trying to manipulate. And the tool is the tool. It does what it needs to do. Yes, so that's an interesting one. And within our organisation, we have many platforms, many different technologies. One of the interesting challenges we always have is in terms of especially when we're doing performance testing, can we get the kind of the volumes of data in sufficient times? And we use things like data explosion quite often, and it does what it needs to do, and it does it very quickly. I think what sets TDM apart from kind of the other, we work in an organisation where we use many tools from many different suppliers. I think that the kind of the relationship that my organisation has with CA is kind of a much richer one in terms of it's not just a tool support. So we've had the tool for about 4 or 5 years now within the organisation. As you might expect, we first got the guys in not knowing anything about the tool and not really knowing how to deploy it. Therefore, what we needed to do was we called on the CA guys to come in and really show us how the tool works, but also how to manipulate that within our organisation. We had a problem case that we wanted to address. We used that as the proving item, if you like, and that's really where we started our journey in terms of a dedicated test data management function. I think the kind of the big area for exploitation for us is already a feature that already exists within the tool. So the TCO element is something massive. I talked earlier on about the kind of the maturity and the structure that it gives you to testing. I think this is kind of a game changer in terms of articulating impact of change, and when no project has any change or no project goes swimmingly first time, and therefore the ability to articulate impact to test through kind of making simple process changes is a massive benefit. So originally we used to spend, like many people probably, hours and hours and hours of spreadsheet manually creating, keying data, massively inefficient, massively error prone, and clearly as part of a financial institute we need to conform to regulations, and therefore we needed an enterprise solution to make sure that we could actually deliver regulatory data, test data to suit our projects. I think the initial driver with kind of really buying any tooling initially is kind of what's the problem statement, what's the driver to get these things in. I think once you realise that there is so much more than just the regulatory bit, as I say, the time, cost, quality aspect that it can actually give to test, that's really kind of the bigger benefit than just regulatory. We have a centralised test data management team that caters for the kind of all development within my organisation. We've created an organisation, if you like, that is so much more effective and optimised in terms of the kind of the time to get to test execution, to identify data and get into execution in the right way. To be honest, it's got to be around the kind of what does the tool do? Yeah, a lot of the tools on the market do the same thing. What are the things that differentiate those tools, and what's really the organisation's problem statement they're trying to fulfil? Once you've got the tool, that's great, but you need the people and process. And without that, and it comes back to the relationship that you have with the CA guys, you've just got shelfware in a tool. We went through a proper RFP selection process where we kind of set out our criteria, and we invited a few of the vendors in to come and demonstrate what they could do for us, and picked the one that was best suited to us. No one's perfect, and I think that in terms of you've got to go with it in the top quartile of it. So you're probably 8 upwards. I think in terms of test data management solutions, it's the best out there. I think that the way that the tool is going, it's kind of moving into other areas in TCO and kind of the integration with SV, which is it's a massive thing for us. I think the recommendation is that absolutely this is the kind of the best in breed, if you like. I think as well as buying the tool, it would be a mistake to not also invest in kind of understanding how the tool integrates into the organisation, and kind of how to bring that into kind of the tools team, the testing teams, and the environment teams that you need to work with.